I loosened the cinch on charcoal. We backed away, ready in case they fired. Then they moved out into the moonlight. Saygood kept Abbott between us and got him up on Leeds' horse. Then he started to mount Charcoal.
Hold on, Rangers!
Shake him, Charcoal! Shake him, boy! Come on, Leeds. He won't be able to hit anything but the ground.
There goes Saygood.
Watch him.
You all right, Abbott?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Get up, Saygood.
My arms.
Never borrow a ranger's horse when a ranger's around unless he wants you to have him. I'm glad I didn't have to kill you, Saygood. I want the rest of the prisoners at Pentland to see you back in that cell. Might help them make up their minds never to come back again.
You can start that lesson with me, Ranger. Once I get out, you won't see me there again.
Good, Abbott. It's no place for a wife and kid to go visiting. All right, Saygood. Get going.
John Saygood was brought to trial and found guilty on 3 counts of murder. His sentence, death in the electric chair.
This is Joel McCrae. Many tales about the Texas Rangers have been repeated until they are legend, and here's one of my favorites. Many years ago, rioting broke out in a Texas town, and the mayor appealed for aid from the Rangers. He was at the railroad depot to meet the expected help when a stranger got off the train and approached him. "Are you the mayor?" the stranger asked. The mayor, looking anxiously for the Ranger force, said, "Yeah, but I have no time to talk to you now. I'm waiting for the Texas Rangers to stop this rioting." The stranger said, "I'm the Ranger. I was sent down to help you." The mayor's mouth dropped open in dismay. "They only send one Ranger?" Puzzled by the question, the Ranger said, "Yeah. You only got one riot, haven't you?" Don't forget our date, same time next week, folks. See you then.
Next week, Joel McCrae in another authentic reenactment of a case from the files of the Texas Rangers. Joel McCrae is currently seen starring in the Universal International Technicolor production Saddle Tramp. Tonight's cast included Tony Barrett, Frank Martin, Reed Hadley, Wilms Herbert, Dick Ryan, and Lorene Tuttle. This story was transcribed and adapted by Joel Murcott, and the program was produced and directed by Stacy Keach. This is Hal Gibney speaking.
Three chimes mean good times on NBC. The secret of Dennis Day's comedy is that he always appears perplexed and bewildered. Dennis will be back on the network of the Chimes Saturday, October 7th. That's 3 weeks from tonight, with more delightful mix-ups and popular music in a thrilling day manner. And that same Saturday, October 7th, also marks the return of Judy Canova with more of her mountain-style music and mayhem. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Thank you for joining us for a thrilling episode of Tales of Texas Rangers. We're excited to have you as part of our audience. We invite you to return tomorrow for an all-new set of episodes that will take you on even more unforgettable adventures. Now let's travel across the globe to exotic locations with A Man Called X, the globe-trotting adventures of secret agent Ken Thurston as he navigates international espionage, solving mysteries and thwarting villains.
We're always eager to hear from our fantastic audience. Your feedback fuels our passion for delivering the best in vintage entertainment. Feel free to share your thoughts, opinions, and suggestions. We value your input and strive to make your listening experience even more enjoyable.
If you're looking to enhance your Microsoft Access skills, look no further. Reach out to them at 615-420-2040 and ask for Mark.
Once again, thank you for being a part of our Golden Age radio community. Get ready for more riveting stories, captivating characters, and timeless entertainment. Until next time, stay tuned and keep the nostalgia alive.
You're twice as sure with two great names, Frigidaire and General Motors. Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as the man called X. Wherever there is mystery, intrigue, romance, in all the strange and dangerous places of the world, there you will find the man called X. You're twice as sure with two great names, Frigidaire and General Motors. For Frigidaire refrigerators are made only by Frigidaire, a division of General Motors. And it is this association of Frigidaire and General Motors, this association of experience with experience, of skill with skill, that makes Frigidaire America's favorite refrigerator. Remember this when you choose your new refrigerator. Remember that millions of Frigidaires in millions of American homes have established Frigidaire's reputation for complete dependability, for lasting satisfaction. Yes, you're twice as sure with two great names, Frigidaire and General Motors. For Frigidaire refrigerators are made only by Frigidaire, a division of General Motors. More Frigidaire refrigerators serve in more American homes than any other make. And now Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as Ken Thurston, the man called X.
Australia? Why in the world do you want a leave of absence to go to Australia, Ken?
Take another look at that newspaper clipping, Chief.
Ken, those fairy tales about sea monsters have popped up every year since I can remember.
Sure, but this one was reported in Kangaroo Bay, Australia.
Well, what's so different about that?
Chief, do you remember Clark Kirby?
Kirby? That engineer friend of yours?
Yeah, he's working on a practical, economical method of converting seawater into fresh water. Now, think of it. Fresh water in limitless quantities. Every desert on Earth turned into fertile soil.
Oh, sure, Ken, I know. But what's that got to do with this sea monster business?
I just got a letter from Kirby. He says the experiments are progressing well. He's sure he's on the right track. Only now he's afraid that, as he puts it, some unbelievable fantasy might put an end to the entire project.
Unbelievable fantasy? Now, wait a minute, Ken. Where's Kirby making these experiments?
That's right, Chief. In Kangaroo Bay, Australia.
Attention, please. Flight 4 to Chicago, now loading at Ramp C. Flight 4 to Chicago, now loading at
Wait
Ramp
for me.
C.
Boy, I never thought I'd make it.
Tagon, what are you doing here?
Miss Brooks at the bureau. She just happened to let slip you were going on a trip.
Now, relax. This is one time you're not going with me.
Mr. Thurston, I just thought you maybe could use this movie camera.
Huh? What makes you think I want a movie camera?
Oh, just an idea. Mr. Thurston, have you heard from your old friend Clark Kirby recently?
He writes every now and then.
Uh-huh. Maybe you saw this thing in a morning paper all about some kind of a sea monster down in Kangaroo Bay, Australia.
What are you driving at, Pagon?
Well, he happened to be going down under to visit Mr. Kirby, and we're wondering maybe about the sea monster. I guess you could tell if it was a fake or not if I took some movie pictures.
Ah, you might have something there. If you have the price of a fare to Australia.
Well, you see, my oldest, dearest
Yeah,
friend...
that's what I thought. So long, Pagon. I have to pick up my reservations.
Oh, don't bother, Mr. Thurston. I picked them up for you.
I see. 2 tickets for Brisbane, Australia, charged to my account.
They are? Now, how do you suppose that stupid ticket agent made such a mistake? Oh, well, shall we get aboard? So this is Kangaroo Bay, eh? Boy, what a joint. Nobody's around, not even kangaroos. Mr. Thurston, I thought you sent a wire from Brisbane so Kirby would meet us.
I did. Something must have held him up at the laboratory. Let's see if there's a phone in that tobacco shop across the street. Look out, Baker!
Hi there.
Hi, yourself.
Rather warm to be daydreaming in the middle of the square, isn't it? Or perhaps you're just lost. Can I help?
Maybe you can. We're looking for transportation.
Why anyone would want to travel around this ghastly place, I can't imagine. But I'll be happy to give you a lift.
That'd be appreciated.
I'm Margaret Williams.
My name's Ken Thurston.
And I'm Pagan Zellschmidt.
Well, that handles the proprietors nicely. Hop in.
Thanks. Well, don't you want to know where we're going?
Well, that's hardly necessary.
Oh?
There are only two places to go. The desert or the cove of Kangaroo Bay. You're hardly the desert type.
Well, thanks.
Americans, eh?
Naturally. Can't you tell by our accents?
Why two Americans should come down here, I'll never know. With New York to live in, Paris and London only an overnight trip away. Why, Mr. Thurston?
Just visiting an old friend of mine, Clark Kirby.
Clark Kirby?
You know him, Miss Williams?
Are you another fool dreaming of turning sea into fresh water?
I didn't know that only fools dreamt of that.
Well, there's nothing sensible about wasting a fortune trying to bring dead land back to life, when the money might be better spent in enjoying life that's available.
I'd call that a rather short-sighted attitude.
Well, call it what you will. If you want my advice, you'll turn right back for the States.
Any particular reason for saying that?
Yes, Mr. Thurston. You made your trip for nothing. Last night, Clark Kirby was drowned in Kangaroo Bay.
There's Clark Kirby's laboratory, Pagan.
Boy, what a gloom-looking place. Nothing happening here but seagulls. Are you going in there?
Yeah. Take the camera down to that cove. Shoot some test film of the bay. Maybe you'll get some shots of that sea monster to make the trip worthwhile.
Okay, Mr. Thurston. I'll meet you later.
Stand right where you are, please.
Well, you always greet guests this way?
Who are you? What do you want here?
My name's Ken Thurston, and I'd like a little hospitality. Without firearms.
Ken Thurston. Clark Kirby's friend?
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Thurston. Please, come in.
No, that's better.
I'm George Llewellyn, Clark Kirby's associate here. Please pardon the melodramatics, but I, too, have no desire to be murdered.
Murdered? I thought Kirby had drowned.
Well, he went for a swim in the bay. He was a strong swimmer. Yet he made only one dive and never came up. His body hasn't been recovered.
That doesn't spell murder, Llewellyn.
No? I guess not. But after all the trouble we've had here, the possibility our laboratory might close, I guess I just can't think straight any longer.
Suppose you tell me a little more about it.
Well, didn't Clark write to you about Lee Williams?
Lee Williams? Who's he?
He's a very wealthy man, Thurston. He's the one who's financing our laboratory here.
Any relation to Margaret Williams?
She's Lee's niece, his only heir, and the one person who's liable to put an immediate end to our experiments.
Well, how could she do that?
By getting her uncle declared mentally incompetent by the courts, because she feels he's squandering money that's rightfully hers on these experiments.
Surely she isn't getting anywhere on that basis.
No, but Lee is elderly. His mind's not as keen as it once was. So when this sea monster story...
I was wondering when that was coming up.
Lee Williams is the only one who claims to have seen it. No one else has.
I see. And Margaret figures that his fantastic story or hallucination may be the final proof she needs.
Exactly. Certainly one more incident of any kind involving him would be enough. That would mean this laboratory would be closed. And it can't be, Thurston. We're too close. I'd commit murder myself to keep it going.
Help! Inside there! Help!
Someone's in trouble outside that door. Come on.
Help, Llewellyn, help.
Good heavens, it's our neighbor, Captain Malquist.
It's a bad scalp wound he's got. Here, give me a hand with it.
Right.
Get on the couch. Put him down there. Easy. Now. There.
Thank you.
What happened, Captain? How'd you get that wound?
It was a boomerang, Llewellyn.
Boomerang?
Yes, it was coming here from my house. Someone tried to kill me.
You have any idea who it was, Captain?
I didn't get a chance to look, but I'm sure it was Lee Williams. Thanks for seeing me back, Mr. Thurston. But you didn't have to bother.
I was heading for the cove anyway, Captain Malquist. And I wanted to hear more about that attack.
Well, I've told you all I can. No reason for it I know of. Always figured old Lee was a good friend. Still do, for that matter. There's my place now, near that inlet.
How'd you happen to settle down here to retire, Captain? Seems like a pretty lonely spot.
No spot of dry land's too lonely for a man who's been sailing for 30 years. Now I have a little oyster bed down there, keeps me busy. Finest eating oysters on this side of the equator. So quiet and peaceful here. Or was until the last few days.
Yeah?
Too bad about Kirby. He was a fine man. I only hope Llewellyn can carry on. I'd like to see those experiments work. It's a great thing.
I didn't know you were interested in them, Captain.
Mr. Thurston, in my days at sea, I've known too many men who've died of thirst with undrinkable water stretching to the horizon all around them.
Now, that's a pretty good reason for having an interest.
Best I know. Well, I'll be saying goodbye now. Drop around to my diggings anytime. I'd like to shoot the breeze with you. Goodbye, Thurston.
Goodbye, Captain.
Hey, Mr. Thurston.
Pagon, what are you doing hiding behind those rocks?
Watching a crazy man, that's what.
Crazy man?
Sure. Look at him over there, staring out at the ocean like it was a chorus girl or something. And he keeps muttering about that sea monster. A real screwball.
That must be Lee Williams. Let's have a talk with him. Good evening, Mr. Williams.
Oh, good evening, sir. You haven't seen it, have you?
Seen what?
The sea monster?
No, Mr. Williams. No, I haven't.
But someone has to see it. Someone besides me. I have to prove that it really exists. Do you understand? Or do you two think I'm crazy?
I wouldn't say that, sir. Tell me, what does a sea monster look like?
Oh, it must have been over 100 feet long, undulating like a snake, a ferocious head with horns that could gore a man to death like a vicious bull. It was just this time of day, at twilight, some 50 yards out to sea.
50 yards out? But it's getting so dark you can hardly see even that log that just washed ashore. It could be anything. It could be Mr. X. That's no log.
Let's go over there.
Mr. Thurston, it's a dead man.
Yes, Pagon. That's the body of Clark Kirby.
But what happened to him? He looks like he was gored to death. Maybe by a bull or by...
Yes, my friend. Exactly. Or by some strange monster of the sea.
In just a moment, we return to Frigidaire's Man Called X, created by J. Richard Kennedy. This is Wendell Niles speaking. It's the mechanism that makes the cold that makes the big difference in refrigerators. That's why it's so important to keep in mind that Frigidaire refrigerators and only Frigidaire refrigerators are powered by the famous Meter Miser. For here is the simplest cold-making mechanism ever built. Not a single belt or gear or pulley. And, of course, parts that aren't there just can't cause trouble or wear. Why, so sure is Frigidaire of the Meter Miser that it's actually sealed in steel, oiled for life. And this, in turn, makes trouble-free operation of the Meter Miser even more of a certainty, for no dust or dirt or moisture can get at it. Yes, this is the marvelous device that makes the cold in Frigidaire refrigerators, a mechanism as accurately made and assembled as a fine watch, yet with all the power needed even in the hottest weather. Remember, It's the mechanism that makes the cold that makes the big difference in refrigerators. And remember, for the meter miser, for all the other advantages that only Frigidaire can give you, ask to see the name Frigidaire when you ask to see a new refrigerator. And now to return to Frigidaire's Man Called X, starring Herbert Marshall. Clark Kirby was working toward one of mankind's brightest dreams, a practical method of turning salt water into fresh. But his last letter from Kangaroo Bay, Australia, said that something strange threatened to halt the entire experiment. And when Ken flew down there, he found Clark dead, his body gored as though by a ferocious bull or some monster of the sea. Now, later that night, Ken is in the laboratory talking with George Llewellyn, Kirby's associate, when the door opens.
Greetings, gentlemen. May a lonely wayfarer seek shelter from the terrors of the night?
Your dramatics possess little humor, Margaret. Come in.
I trust you take more delight in my presence than George does, Mr. Thurston.
Why so happy this evening, Miss Williams?
Why, haven't you heard about my uncle's little boomerang throwing party? The attack on Captain Malquist?
Well, why were you so elated about that?
Who would suddenly and without provocation attack anyone with a boomerang? Unless the attacker were insane.
Insane? Now, just a moment,
You can
Margaret.
save your breath, George. Between sea monsters and homicidal attacks, I'm afraid Lee Williams is totally incompetent to handle his affairs. The constable's looking for him now to place him in custody.
And what happens to the laboratory if you take over the estate?
You know the answer to that, Mr. Thurston. There'll be no more money thrown away on ridiculous experiments like this one.
There's nothing ridiculous about wastelands being made fertile, about fields of grain replacing rocks and sand.
Foolish dreams, Mr. Thurston. Not nearly as practical as mine. Paris, London, New York, living the way I want to live. No, you can forget about this laboratory. From now on, it's Margaret Williams first, and flowers blooming in the desert be hanged.
Come in.
Thanks, Captain Malquist.
This is a pleasure, Mr. Thurston. Sit down, sir. Sit down.
I've only a minute, Captain. I just wanted to tell you that Lee Williams is going to be arrested because of that attack on you last night.
Why, that's nonsense, Mr. Thurston. I won't press charges against him.
I didn't think you would, but Margaret Williams will.
Oh, the insanity hearings again.
That's right. She thinks that attack will be the clinching argument.
Yes, perhaps it will. And she'll have the money in Clark Kirby's dream. Well, there's nothing we can do about it.
I see you've quite a collection of mother-of-pearl articles, Captain.
Yes, I make them, Mr. Thurston. Knife handles, buckles. Keeps a man busy during the off-season. Now, look at this one here. Just finished it yesterday.
A sea serpent with a horned head.
Yes, I made it from poor Lee's description. What do you think about that? Did he really see it?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, something like that could have gored Kirby to death, couldn't it? And if there was any way to prove it, or maybe that would be proof that Lee isn't crazy after all.
A good theory, Captain, except for one thing. Kirby was not gored to death.
What?
The autopsy shows the horn wounds were superficial. Death was caused by a blow in the head. No sea monster killed Kirby. He was murdered.
But who goes swimming at 7 o'clock in the morning, Mr. X? I never heard of such a thing. That water looks like liquid ice.
What do you care? I'm going in, you're not.
Sure, but the very thought of diving into that stuff gives my goose pimples.
Just keep your eyes open. I want to learn what Clark Kirby ran into. And I don't want any trouble from above the water.
Don't worry, Mr. X. I'll keep my... Clark Kirby. Is this the place he took a dive?
That's right. So watch it.
But Mr. Thurston... Oh, how can he do things like that?
Perhaps he's looking for the spot where the body's buried.
Oh, Miss Williams, don't say things like that. Yeah, and where did you come from?
I came down here looking for my uncle. He seems to have disappeared. I thought he might be down here trying to see that imaginary monster of his.
That story smells like fish to me. Mr. Thurston's coming up now, and as soon as he... Hey, what's going on there?
He's not coming up. He's fighting something under the water.
Under the water? Hey, the sea monster, maybe.
Oh, do something, you idiot. He'll drown down there.
Oh, if I only had a gun or something. Come up, Mr. Thurston, come up. Oh, I can't look.
Save your tears, Pagan.
Mr. Thurston, you're all right?
Yeah. Hello, Margaret. Come down to watch the fun?
What happened down there, Mr. Thurston?
Something came out of a bed of grass behind me. Didn't see it, but whatever it was, it gave me quite a bump on the head before it left.
Then that's what happened to Clark Kirby.
Not quite. He didn't come up again, you remember? However, I've learned enough to take your advice, Miss Williams. I'm going back to Brisbane.
Pagan Zelschmidt speaking.
Hello, Pagan.
Mr. Thurston, are you still in Brisbane?
Yeah, that's right. Yes. What's happened since I left?
Practically nothing. That screwball Lee Williams is still missing, and so is my exposed movie film. Some no-good crook stole all of it.
Yeah, I know. Look, Pagan, I'm coming back tonight. Have Margaret Williams, George Llewellyn, and Captain Malquist at the laboratory.
What do you want them for?
Pagan, I'm going to show them the worst monster they ever saw.
Ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
No one forced you to come, Margaret.
Mr. Llewellyn's right, baby. Must be pretty interested in what Mr. Thurston's going to spill.
And from what I've seen of this Thurston, he'll not be wasting our time when he shows up.
Perhaps, Captain.
Don't worry, Llewellyn. I won't waste it.
Oh, you
Hello,
got here,
Mr.
huh?
Thurston. I see you got here all right.
Yeah, everything's set?
Oh, sure. The movie projection machine's all ready.
Fine. Put this reel of film on, will you?
As good as did, Mr. Thurston.
Come on in, Mr. Williams.
Uncle.
So, old Williams himself.
Yes, it is I. Mr. Thurston has been my host in Brisbane these past few days.
How sweet of him.
And he's going to prove to all of you that I am not insane. Isn't that right, Mr. Thurston?
That's quite right.
I see no examining board of psychiatrists with you.
All I need is to show you a few feet of film. Ready, Pagan?
Everything's hunky-dory, Mr. Thurston.
Good. Then turn off the lights. We'll get started.
That's some film of that cove along Kangaroo Bay, isn't it?
Hey, sure is. That's the film I shot. The stuff some dirty crook stole from me.
Nobody stole it. I took it to Brisbane for processing.
I must say it hardly seems worthwhile. Lights poor, photography rather amateurish.
That's because Pagan shot that film near twilight, Llewellyn. The same hour of the day that Lee Williams was wandering near the cove. The same hour of the day he looked out toward the sea and saw something. Something strange and weird. Swimming out there in that haze. Something that looked like it might be
The sea monster! The sea monster! There it is! See it! The monster!
He's right. There is something out there.
Hey, Godfrey, it's like a snake, a huge snake swimming out at sea.
All right, Pagan. Stop the projector. Turn on the lights.
Oh, it was there, right on the film. Just as I saw it that evening. The rest of you saw it too, didn't you?
Yes, they saw it, Mr. Williams.
But I didn't take no pictures of anything like that.
Of course you didn't. It was all a trick. Admit it, Mr. Thurston. It was a trick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a trick. But I proved that Lee Williams didn't have to be insane to see a sea monster. He saw what all of you just did. A herd of sea cows.
Sea cows? Are you serious, Thurston?
That's right, Llewellyn. That was an old travelogue shot of a bull manatee leading his herd. It was processed with Pagan's shot to the bay. And those 8 creatures, swimming single file, seen at a distance in twilight...
Looks like one giant sea serpent. I should have thought of that myself. I've seen them many times in New Hebrides.
Well, that might explain my uncle's hallucinations, Mr. Thurston. But it doesn't explain Clark Kirby's death. Or the attack made on you in the cove.
No, Margaret. Another kind of monster was responsible for those. One that walks on 2 feet.
That sounds strangely like some human being you're referring to, Thurston.
If you can call anyone human who killed Kirby, tried to kill me, and was willing to destroy an experiment that could open new eras of prosperity for the entire world. And just to preserve a secret.
Secret, Mr. Thurston? It must be a very valuable one. Indeed.
Valuable? That depends on how you look at it. Judge for yourselves. Look at that.
Mr. Thurston, that's a pearl you tossed on the table.
Yes, Peg, on a pearl. The answer to the secret that Kirby discovered. There's a fabulous pearl oyster bed lying in the cove of Kangaroo Bay. Isn't there, Captain Malquist? You'll never prove it. Too late for guns now.
Captain Balquist.
Yes, Margaret, my old friend. Everything he did, even to faking that boomerang attack, was to close the laboratory so that he could have the cove all to himself.
But how did you know, Thurston?
His mother-of-pearl handiwork gave him away. Thick layers like that are found only in pearl-bearing oysters, and it took someone with a diving rig to stage those underwater attacks.
So there wasn't any sea monster after all?
No, Pagan. But there was something else, something even more frightening. Malquist would have denied the world a chance to live in security. Would have sacrificed the future of millions to satisfy his own personal greed. You know, Pagan, no sea monster ever conceived by the brain of man can be as frightening, as monstrous, as a man whose soul is possessed by greed.
Frigidaire star Herbert Marshall will return in just a moment. Frigidaire's Man Called X is presented each week with the best wishes of your Frigidaire dealer. We invite you to come in and learn about the famous line of Frigidaire electric appliances. Refrigerators, ranges, water heaters, home freezers, the new automatic washer, dryer, ironer, and many other Frigidaire refrigerating and air conditioning products for homes, farms, stores, offices, and factories.
Mr. Niles, how does the Frigidaire electric range compare with Frigidaire refrigerator?
Lady, it's just as good at making things good to eat as the Frigidaire refrigerator is at keeping things good to eat. It's fast, it's easy to use, it's a beauty. I hope you'll see it soon at your Frigidaire dealers. And now, Frigidaire star Herbert Marshall.
Saturday, September 18th, has been designated as Air Force Day in recognition of the first anniversary of the Air Force as an independent arm. The celebration reminds America that air power is peace power and stresses the importance of air power in this nation's security program. We salute the Air Force. Thanks for being with us. Next week, Dangerous Island, a story of science and murder. As usual, Leon Belasco will be along as Pagan Zelsman. So join us, won't you, when next I return as The Man Called X. Good night.
Frigidaire's Man Called X is directed by Dee Engelbach, with music composed and conducted by Johnny Green. Tonight's story was written by Maurice Zim and Sidney Marshall. So until next week, same time, same station, this is Wendell Niles speaking for Frigidaire, made only by General Motors. All characters and incidents used on this program are fictitious. Any resemblance to actual persons... This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Thank you for joining us for a thrilling episode of A Man Called X. We're excited to have you as part of our audience. We invite you to return tomorrow for an all-new set of episodes that will take you on even more unforgettable adventures. Now we will visit Agent K7, a riveting program centered around the daring exploits of a top-secret spy as he battles against espionage, crime, and international intrigue, showcasing his resourcefulness and cunning as he strives to maintain global security.
We're always eager to hear from our fantastic audience. Your feedback fuels our passion for delivering the best in vintage entertainment. Feel free to share your thoughts, opinions, and suggestions. We value your input and strive to make your listening experience even more enjoyable.
If you're looking to enhance your Microsoft Access skills, look no further. Reach out to them at 615-420-2040 and ask for Mark.
Once again, thank you for being a part of our Golden Age radio community. Get ready for more riveting stories, captivating characters, and timeless entertainment. Until next time, stay tuned and keep the nostalgia alive.
Subscribe for more videos. Suspense. This is the Man in Black, here again to introduce Columbia's program, Suspense. Our star tonight is Peter Lorre, playing the part of the Hungarian Count Stefan Kahari, a gentleman of sinister aspect. The story is by John Dixon Carr, who calls it The Devil's Saint. If you have been with us on these Tuesday nights, you will know that suspense is compounded of mystery and suspicion and dangerous adventure. In this series are tales calculated to intrigue you, to stir your nerves, to offer you a precarious situation, and then withhold the solution till the last possible moment. And so, it is with The Devil's Saint and Mr. Peter Lorre's performance we again hope to keep you in suspense. The Devil's Saint. Paris, 15 years ago. Paris as it used to be, when lights twinkled from the old Trocadero to the hill of Sacré-Cœur, when taxicabs honked and the beat of tangos swayed, and Chinese lanterns gleamed above the lake in the Bois, when, in short, you and I were young. Come then to the President's Ball at the Opera, St. Catherine's Day, 1927. A fancy dress ball at the Opera, filling these marble halls with a multitude of masks and a multitude of dreams. The mosaic decorations are no less bright than the colors that weave here. Harlequins and Columbine, Cleopatra and Musketeers. In the great marble foyer, remember it? They have set out little tables and lines of palms behind which you may sit screened. Look at one such table. A young man wearing the scarlet and gold uniform of an English Guards officer in Wellington's day. A dark-haired young girl in the costume of a bacchante. And as we approach...
Ned, don't, please, you mustn't.
Well, why not? You really don't mind, do you?
No, of course I don't mind, only you mustn't. Oh, Ned.
Look here, Alona. We've got to settle this thing. You have enjoyed being here tonight, haven't you?
Ned, I've loved it. After being cooped up at my uncle's place in the country, it's like heaven.
All right. When I take you back to the hotel, I'm going to face this uncle of yours tonight.
No, please don't.
I'm going to say that you and I intend to get married, and that's that.
I can't marry you, Ned. I've told you that.
But why not? Just give me one good reason.
Because I can't. My uncle, he would never allow it. Never.
And that seems to you a good reason enough?
Yes, Ned.
This uncle of yours, what's his name?
Count Stefan Kahari.
He's a Hungarian, I think you said.
Yes, so am I. My mother was an American.
What's he like, actually?
Oh, he's a little eccentric. Oh, please don't misunderstand. He's a great scholar and a historian, only he's a little strange. Ned.
What is it?
There he is now.
Your uncle?
Yes, that elegant man in plain evening clothes, with the Order of the Golden Fleece across his chest.
Oh, I see him. Oh, he looks as black as a thundercloud.
He's throwing those two dressed as devils aside as though they didn't exist. Give me my mask quick before he sees us.
No, Alona.
Why not?
We'd better face this out now. Sit still.
Good evening, Ilona.
Good evening, Uncle Stefan. Uncle, may I present Edward Whiteford?
How do you do, sir?
How do you do? Ilona, do you think that costume is quite the thing to wear in public?
Why not?
Well, an older generation might call it immodest. It looks like...
Like what?
Nothing. Will you go and get your cloak or your domino or whatever you wore here?
Uncle, please don't make me go home so soon. It's hardly 11 o'clock.
I was not asking you to go home, my dear. I was merely asking you to put on a wrap.
All right, I'll get it. You stay and talk to Ned.
I shall be delighted.
Will you sit down, sir?
Thank you. You seem to have quite a gathering at this table.
Oh, yes. Some friends of mine from the embassy. They're upstairs dancing now.
Well, look, glasses, and still more glasses. You know, I was quite an adept once at musical gases. Have you ever tried it, young man? Well, it's very easy. You take a spoon like this, you see, and... Like it?
Well, forgive me, sir, but there's something I'd like to ask you.
Yes?
I don't know exactly how to say this, so I'd better say it in the shortest way. I want to marry your niece. Well, look out, sir. You smashed one of the glasses.
A few francs will pay for that. But there are other things of higher value. At least to me.
Well, maybe I ought to mention first that my full name is Lord Edward Whiteford. My father's the Earl of Grey.
Indeed.
Well, I only mention that to show we're, well, respectable enough. Well, the British ambassador will vouch for me, sir, if you'd like to ring him up.
And perhaps I ought to mention that I've always kept Ilona carefully guarded from the world.
Almost too carefully guarded, don't you think?
That, Lord Edward, depends on my reasons.
Sorry, sir.
You have known Ilona about how long?
4 days.
4 days. You wouldn't even choose a business partner in 4 days. Yet to want to marry my Ilona after 4 days.
But we know our own minds, sir.
You do, huh? Then you know more than the wisest man in this world. However, as one whose dearest wish is Ilona's happiness,
I hope it is, Count Kohari.
Do you doubt what I say?
Oh, no, sir.
Well, I will make you a proposition. I own an estate in Touraine, not far from Paris. A little chateau, a few hundred acres, fishing, very good stable of horses.
I know. Ilona told me.
Oh, she did? Well, then here is my suggestion. Why not come down and visit us for a week or two?
Why, that's very decent of you, sir.
Oh, not at all, not at all. And if at the end of that time you're not cured of this infatuation...
Oh, it's not an infatuation. I swear it's not.
No? Well, if at the end of that time you're not cured permanently of this feeling, you may take Ilona. And with my blessing. That's fair, isn't it?
Oh, it's more than fair, Count Kohari. I don't know how to thank you.
Oh, well, please, don't even try. And at least I can promise you a very interesting experience. You see, at the Chateau d'Azay, there is one certain bedroom. We call it the tapestry room.
Yes?
Well, I assure you, it'll be very interesting for you to sleep in that room.
Why? Is it haunted or something?
Oh, no. No, not haunted. Well, now, if you don't mind, I shall say goodnight, and I hope I can trust you to bring Ilona safely to the hotel. Au revoir. Look over there.
What is it, sir?
Just look. Streams of our fellow guests pouring down the main staircase. Shapes of nightmare. Shapes of delirium. Insane dead masks. Only the eyes move. Wouldn't we be terrified, perhaps, if he would look behind those gargoyle faces?
Oh, no, I don't think so. They're only ordinary people like ourselves.
That, sir, is where you make your mistake. Well, I shall expect you for the weekend, and encore une fois, au revoir.
Ned.
It's all right, Ilona. You can come out from behind those palms.
What was he saying? I couldn't hear.
Ilona, it couldn't be better. Well, he's a very decent old boy, actually. And he's invited me to the Chateau d'Azay.
Did he say anything about the tapestry room?
Yes. He invited me to sleep there.
And you said?
I said I would, naturally.
You mustn't do it, Ned. I won't let you do it.
Why the devil not?
Because everybody who sleeps in that room dies.
Dies? Are you serious?
Oh, Ned, please don't do it.
Oh, nonsense. There are a lot of superstitions about every old house.
This isn't a superstition, Ned. It happened once when I was a little girl. A man insisted on sleeping there. They found him dead in the morning.
So? How did he die?
They don't know. There wasn't a mark on his body. He wasn't shot or stabbed or strangled or poisoned or hurt in any way. He was just dead.
Two nights later, in the province of France now known as Indre-et-Loire, but once called Touraine, the ancient land beloved of Rabelais and Balzac. But now, as the wind moans down the valleys, and rain flickers across the apple trees, and thunder stirs in those haunted hills, it can bring little comfort to a young man driven in an ancient carriage from the railway station along snake-like roads. To what destination? Ahead, A lift of lightning shows the gray walls and conical slate-roofed towers of a chateau set some distance back from the road. Lights shine from its narrow windows, dimly seen through the rain as...
Driver, coachman.
Oui, monsieur.
Is that the Chateau d'Azay up ahead?
Oui, monsieur. I will take you to the very door if...
If what? Why do you cross yourself?
If I am permitted.
What should stop you?
Only fear, monsieur. And I am not much afraid.
Listen. What was that?
Only the dogs, monsieur. They keep many dogs, large dogs, at the Chateau d'Azay. Well, here we are. Bonsoir, monsieur. And if I may be permitted a word of advice...
Well?
Beware of the tapestry room.
There isn't a bell on this door. There might at least be a knocker. Ah, got it.
C'est alors, monsieur? Vous cherchez?
Je cherche le Château d'Azay et
perhaps it would be better if monsieur spoke English, yes? You are Lord Edward Whiteford.
Yes.
Monsieur is expected. Please to enter. Monsieur's hat and coat.
Thank you.
Ned.
Hello, Ilona. Oh,
Bertha pas ma petite, votre uncle.
Oh, you'd better not kiss me, Ned. Madame Flay says to look out for my uncle. Madame Flay is our housekeeper.
Oh. Well, where's your uncle now?
In the drawing room. He's playing the piano. Come along.
Ilona, is anything wrong?
Oh, everything's wrong. 2 of my dogs were in horrible pain this afternoon. Dr. Solomon had to put them out with chloroform.
You don't think that...
I hope nobody's practicing, that's all. Well, here we are.
Oh, nice tiger skins on the floor. I say, who's the little old man with the gray beard sitting over there by the fire?
That's Dr. Solomon.
Hasn't he funny-looking eyes?
He watches and watches and watches. He's an old friend of the family.
Shh, come along. Let's get this over with.
Ah, Lord Edward. Well, I see my niece has anticipated me. Welcome to the Chateau d'Azay.
Thank you, Count Harry.
Oh, you must be very wet after your long drive. Go up to the fire and warm yourself. Madame Flay.
Yes, monsieur?
Please tell Antoine to take our guest's luggage up to the tapestry room.
The tapestry room, monsieur?
That is what I said, Madame Flay.
Yes, monsieur.
By an odd coincidence, Lord Edward, Dr. Solomon and I were just discussing the fate of the last person who slept in a tapestry room.
This is not good, my friend. This is against my advice.
It's against his advice. Here, Dr. Solomon croaking.
This is not good, I tell you. It is the wrong season of the moon.
The wrong moon. But there is no moon tonight. It's raining cats and dogs.
Don't talk about dogs.
Nevertheless, it is the wrong season of the moon. I say no more.
Cheerful blunder, that doctor.
Don't do it, Ned. I won't be responsible if they make you do it.
But look here, Count Harry. What did happen to the last bloke who slept in the tapestry room?
You mustn't call him a bloke, sir. He was a very saintly gentleman. The Bishop of Tours. That was some time ago when Ilona was only 15 years old, but surely she must remember it.
I remember it.
The church, said our bishop, has no use for superstitions. Well, he insisted on sleeping there. I made it as comfortable for him as possible, but he was found dead next morning with a crucifix still in his hand.
Was it poison?
There was no poison, monsieur.
No. Here, Dr. Solomon.
It's true, Ned.
Well, there were just 2 very curious things. You see, in connection with that death, on a mantelpiece there was found burning a stick of incense. Just ordinary incense, nothing wrong with it.
Yes, sir?
And under the dressing table, the police found it was an empty jar of ointment. Now, use your wits. A dead man, some burning incense, and an empty jar of ointment. What do you make of that?
Oh, I don't make anything of it. It's crazy.
Please do not speak like that.
I'm sorry.
It is still the wrong season of the moon.
Well, what I really meant, sir, was this. Is there any reason for this story of death?
Reason?
Any legend attached to the room or anything like that?
Yes, there is.
Well, sir?
Well, we are a very old family, Lord Edward. Old and perhaps accursed. When my ancestors moved from Hungary to France in the 17th century, they brought certain beliefs with them. The old religion.
The old religion?
Yes, the cult of Diana, the cult of Janus, the cult of freedom and fertility. The witch cult, if you prefer.
Oh, now look here, sir.
Must we talk about this?
Well, you smile, but when I say the word witch, you think of some humorous picture on a Halloween's card. It was very different in the Middle Ages, believe me. Then, my friend, there existed an organized religion which rivaled the church. There were many to worship unashamed at the grand Sabbath. Many to receive all favors from Saturn, their master, and to dance forever, joyously in a red, flaming quadrilles of hell. Some 200 years ago, an ancestress of mine, Katerina Kohari, was tortured to death in a tapestry room for professing the old religion. Many persons have not thought it safe to sleep there since. Are you answered?
Oh, come, sir. This is some kind of elaborate joke.
Joke? The Bishop of Tours did not find it a joke.
Not a mark on his body. I assure you as a physician, not a mark on his body.
No, not a mark on his body. Hear Dr. Solomon.
Yes, I hear him.
Well, understand me, Lord Edward, there's no compulsion in this. If you do wish to sleep in that room, all right. If you
ridiculous.
don't wish...
I'm not afraid to sleep there, sir.
Well, I thought perhaps you wanted to change your mind.
Oh, never. Would you like me to make a wager on that?
What sort of wager?
Hell, if I spend the night in this famous room and come out of it alive...
Yes?
Will you give your consent to the marriage immediately? Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning? Why?
Because I don't think the atmosphere of this house is good for a loner. What do you say? Will you do it?
Very well, Lord Edward. I accept the terms of your wager.
Don't do it, Ned. For the love of heaven, don't do it.
High up in the north tower of the Chateau d'Azay, under the conical slate roof, is the circular room hung with faded tapestries. These tapestries move slightly with uneasy, mimic life to the clamor of the storm outside. Candles burn along the mantelpiece and beside the great four-poster bed. The flames of these candles waver, too, as the door opens.
This is the tapestry room, monsieur.
Thank you, Madame Flay.
That is the mantelpiece where the incense burned. That is the bed where Monseigneur le Bishop died.
Very inviting, isn't it?
Will there be anything else monsieur requires? Some sandwiches? A decanter of whiskey?
Oh, no, thanks. I had a drink with the Count Kohari before I came upstairs.
Bien, monsieur. Monsieur's shaving water will be brought up in the morning, if he requires it. Good night.
That old Hoppy. Trying to scare a fellow out of his wits just because... Oh, I hope they built a good fire anyway. Didn't realize how cold it was. Temperature must have dropped. What's that?
It's me, Ilona. May I come in?
No, Ilona. Get out of here.
That's not very gallant of you.
No, I mean, I don't want you exposed to whatever it is.
Ned, listen. Are you going to bed, or are you going to sit up all night?
I'm going to sit up all night, naturally.
Then let me sit up with you.
No.
Why not?
Well, it may be dangerous. Besides, I promised your uncle I'd go through with this alone.
I wish you hadn't had that drink with him.
Why? He couldn't have done anything to it. It was you who poured it.
Yes, that's true, only... Listen.
What is that?
It sounds like footsteps.
Yes, but where's it coming from?
Seems to be right here in the room.
It seems to come from all directions.
Doesn't it sound like somebody walking between the walls?
By George, it is someone walking inside the wall. Get behind that tapestry, Lona. Quick. Hide there.
Count Kohari, where did you come from?
Oh, forgive me, Lord Edward, for seeming to appear out of the wall and between the tapestries. Like Mephisto appearing to Faust, huh? And this red dressing gown perhaps adds to the effect, too.
How'd you get here? A passage between the walls?
Yes, exactly. Little device my ancestors for visiting this room. You know, they invented that when its occupant was so unmanly as to bolt the door.
Door's not bolted. You could have walked straight in.
But I couldn't have done it unobserved.
No. Maybe not.
Have you had any other visitors, Lord Edward?
No.
Are you quite sure of that?
Quite sure.
Well, then, since nobody saw me come here, I'll just sit down by the fire. Please sit opposite me.
Is this the showdown, sir?
I don't understand.
Well, there's got to be a showdown between us. Is that why you're here?
Oh, I'm here, young man, to explain certain things to you. Will you have a cigarette?
Thank you.
Oh, they're perfectly all right. If that is what you're afraid of.
I'll have one, yes.
A light?
Thank you.
Well, when I was discussing the witch cult a while ago, you didn't appear to think I meant what I said.
Do you want a perfectly frank answer to that?
Yes.
I think you're mad enough to mean anything.
What you say, in a sense, is quite true. Seeing an old and inbred family like ours, the mind can crack and the fantasies of witchcraft become as real, well, more real than the living world. Let me give you an example.
Go on.
The saucer on a table beside you is Ming porcelain. It was once owned by Katerina Kohari, a martyr of the old religion. Yet you are using it as an ashtray.
Oh, I beg the witch lady's pardon. I'll blow off the ash.
Well, that's a very dangerous remark, sir. Don't you understand that the worship of evil can be as strong and compelling as the worship of good? That the devil can have his saints, too? That to a sick brain which knows but can't help itself, you have profaned this room merely by entering it. And therefore, you deserve to die.
Like the Bishop of Tours?
Exactly.
You're not going to tell me the devil killed him?
The devil's agent may be flesh and blood.
Then it was murder.
Oh, of course it was murder. Murder so cunningly contrived that no one ever saw through it.
Go on.
I asked you before to use your wits on this problem. Well, look, incense was burned in this room. You know why?
Suppose you tell me.
Well, obviously, I think to conceal something else, which would be too easily noticed.
To conceal what?
For instance, the smell of chloroform.
Chloroform?
Yes. A drug not very well understood by laymen. Dr. Solomon, by the way, was using chloroform this afternoon to dispose of some dogs.
So I've heard.
Well, Dr. Solomon is old and very forgetful.
You mean chloroform could be stolen?
Oh, yes, it could be easily. Now, suppose I take a pad saturated with chloroform. I place it over the mouth and nostrils of a man already sleeping or drugged so that he gets no air.
Wait a minute. That won't do.
Why not?
Chloroform burns and blisters when it touches the skin. You'd leave marks.
Oh, not at all, my friend. Not at all. If I first covered the mouth and nostrils with some substance like...
Ointment.
Yes. Now you're waking up.
Hi.
Now observe what follows. In a few seconds, unconsciousness. In 2 minutes or 3 minutes, death.
Certain death, yes.
Oh, but chloroform, you see. It evaporates very quickly. There is no trace in the stomach since nothing has been swallowed. Well, delay your post-mortem for 24 hours. Very easy matter in these country districts, and no trace remains in the blood. Murder without a mark, Lord Edward. Murder without a mark.
You can't do it, Count Kohani. There's one thing you're forgetting.
What is that?
I'm not sleeping and I'm not drugged.
Oh, yes, you are.
How? When? In the cigarette?
No. In a drink you had with me.
What was it?
Morphine. And you've had enough to put 3 men to sleep. See, that's it. Well, try to get up.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
You see? You've knocked over the fire irons. You'd have been in the fire yourself if I hadn't caught you.
Take your hands off me.
Just as you please.
If I could reach that bell pull.
Well, but you can't. Well, better sit down again.
You murdering lunatic. So that's how you killed the Bishop of Tours. And that's how you're going to kill me.
Who, I? Well, you don't think I killed the Bishop of Tours.
Didn't you?
You fool. I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to save you. Dr. Solomon.
Yes, monsieur.
Well, come come in the room. Come out and be my witness.
Yes, monsieur. I shall always guard the family honor, even when I guess how men die.
This young man evidently thinks I've been talking about myself. Am I, in a popular parlance, insane?
Oh, monsieur. Heaven forbid. I have never known a saner man.
Have you any notion, Lord Edward, why I brought you to this house? You would never have believed me if I had merely told you. So I had to bring you here to show you.
Show me what?
What?
Look at the tapestries.
Come out of there!
Behind them.
Come out of there! Hey, come out!
Ilona!
Yes, Ilona. Why do you think I've kept Ilona so well guarded from the world? Why, at a fancy dress ball, for instance, did I object to the costume of a medieval witch? Whose dogs were poisoned so that chloroform should be brought? Who poured the drink drugged with morphine?
In the devil's name, what are you trying to tell me?
It was Ilona. She's been helplessly, hopelessly insane for more than 10 years.
And so closes The Devil's Saint, starring Peter Lorre. Tonight's tale of suspense. This is your narrator, the man in black, who conveys to you Columbia's invitation to spend this half hour in suspense with us again next Tuesday.
William Spear, the producer, John Dietz, the director, Bernard Herrmann, the composer-conductor, and John Dixon Carr, the author, are collaborators on
Suspense.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Are you ready to unlock the full potential of your data management? Look no further. Introducing G3PL.com, your ultimate destination for mastering Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access is a powerful tool that lets you organize, analyze, and report on your data with ease. And with G3PL.com, learning how to harness its capabilities has never been more accessible.
At G3PL.com, we believe that knowledge is the key to success. Our expert instructors will guide you step by step, whether you're a beginner or looking to enhance your skills. You'll learn how to create databases, design user-friendly forms, and generate insightful reports, all using Microsoft Access.
Call us now at 615-420-2040 to enroll in our Microsoft Access courses. Don't miss out on this opportunity to become a Microsoft Access guru. Visit G3PL.com to start your learning journey today. G3PL.com, empowering you with the knowledge you need to succeed in the digital age. Email db@g3pl.net now.
Subscribe for more videos.
America's #1 adventurer, K7, former United States secret agent who operated in 22 countries, on land, on sea, and in the air, brings you a story of today. Here is K7.
An unusual spy plot was recently uncovered on the continent when it was found that the spies of one nation were actually working through their own embassy in another country and were under the orders of the consul representatives. These spies were thus able to travel freely and to even take the information which they had gathered out of the country under the protection of diplomatic passports. My story tells how this master spy, who was also the consul, had laid a plot which boomeranged. John Holbrook will take up at this point.
Thank you, K7. Our story opens in Yvonne Durell's hotel suite in a large European city. As we begin, Yvonne admits her superior, Special Agent M.
M, you weren't gone long. Is it a new case?
Yes, Yvonne. And it's not going to be easy. Sit down. We're up against something that this country's intelligence department hasn't been able to crack.
That doesn't sound promising, does it?
Yvonne, we've got to trap Ante Vlada. Ever hear of him?
The name is familiar. Perhaps you or K7 has mentioned him.
Ante Vlada is one of the world's cleverest spies. He has worked at one time or other for almost every nation in the world.
Do you know which one he's working for now?
Yes, Yvonne. He's acting for his own country. Yvonne, he's not only in charge of espionage here, but he is also a consul.
A consul? A diplomatic representative?
That's right. He's operating a spy ring directly from the embassy itself. He travels on a diplomatic passport. That means he can cross the border without being searched. You understand now why he hasn't been trapped?
It's fantastic. Why, his spies can visit him at will. In his position as consul, he can even protect them. Have you any plan of action?
Yes. K7 and the intelligence department, they're cooperating. This call may be the answer. I left word I was coming here. Hello? Oh, yes, K7. This is Agent M. You say she's under arrest? Good. How about her papers? You have them? That simplifies matters. Yes, I'll come down immediately. Yvonne will be with me. We'll be there in a few minutes. Yvonne, that telephone call may have given us the answer. It looks as if this case was up to you to solve.
What do you mean, Em?
The intelligence department has just arrested a woman spy. They picked her up as she entered the country. Her papers show that she was to report to Ante Vlada. You're going to take her place.
The embassy building of the spy, who was also the consul, two men sat together in earnest conversation. One of them was Ante Vlada.
Yes, everything is in readiness. This girl shall report within the next few minutes.
You know who she is?
No. I merely asked headquarters to send a woman who was no longer of any value to us as an agent.
Yeah, I see.
She is to be sacrificed.
Sacrificed? Well, what do you mean, Ante?
This afternoon I received this nation's plans for mobilization.
Yes, I know that.
I've got to get them over the border tonight. However, before I leave, I'm going to ruin the reputation of General Bartu.
Oh, it's suspicious, eh?
More than suspicious. He is planning to expose me.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to ruin him first. General Bartu is head of intelligence service. If I can brand him as a spy, I can break the morale of his entire department.
Yes, but how? How can you succeed?
The plan. The plan is very simple, Paul. I called the general this afternoon. He has agreed to have dinner with me this evening. However, I am not going to be able to attend that dinner. Instead, the general will dine with a woman spy who is on her way here.
No. Ante, I begin to see.
Yes. This woman spy will have the new mobilization plans in her bag. During dinner, she will be arrested by the famous agent, K7. I've already sent word to K7 that something is breaking tonight. The fact that she is with the general and has the plans, which the government believes only he possesses, will brand the general.
Very clever.
He will probably face court-martial.
That's excellent. It should disrupt the entire intelligence service.
It will. But more than that, tonight, at the very time the scandal is breaking, I will leave the country with a copy of the plans. This may mean she has arrived. Come in.
The young lady is here, sir.
Send her in. Good evening, mademoiselle.
Good evening.
That would be all. Close the door. You came from headquarters?
Yes. I'm a little late.
No matter. Let me see your papers.
They are here, monsieur.
Yes. They seem to be in order. This is the passport. Mademoiselle, I have a most pleasant task for you tonight. You are to take my place at a small dinner. You will dine with General Bartu, chief of this country's secret service.
The trap was set. Yvonne was given the mobilization plans and told to return across the border with them, following her dinner with the general. She, of course, knew nothing of the plan to sacrifice her to ruin the general's reputation. As soon as she had her instructions, she left the embassy and reported directly to Agent M.
Those are the plans which he gave me to take across the border tonight, M. He told me they would be perfectly safe in my bag while I was having dinner with the general.
Yvonne, this is a trap. These are the mobilization plans which were only completed this afternoon. They're supposed to be in the general's safe.
You talked with the general?
K7 has talked with him. He said that Vlada begged him to have dinner with him, and that he finally agreed. After all, Vlada's the consul for his country.
Do you want me to keep the dinner engagement?
I'm not so sure yet, Yvonne. K7 is down at intelligence headquarters now. He's waiting for a call from Vlada.
What's behind it all? Have you any idea?
Yes. K7 and I both believe this was a deliberate plot to break General Bartu. Just how this was to have been accomplished is another question. If this is K7, we'll know our next move. Hello?
M, this is K7. I've just received a tip from Vlada that a woman spy is dining with General Bartu at the Continental Cafe.
So that's how they're going to work it. What's the next move?
We've tapped the embassy telephone lines and found out that Vlada is taking the North Sea Express in an hour. Meet me at the station. We'll follow Plan B.
Right. We'll start immediately.
Was it K7?
Yes, Yvonne. And now we've got work to do. Take the mobilization plans and put them in your bag. We're going to the railroad station.
K7 said, we'll follow Plan B. A few minutes later, Agent M and Yvonne entered the railroad station. As they did, Agent M was handed a note.
Monsieur, this is for you.
Oh, thank you. Wait, Yvonne. It's a note. Have Yvonne go to compartment 31 and give the plans back to Vlada, saying she escaped arrest at the restaurant. Join me at prearranged spot. Don't be seen with Yvonne. It's signed K7. That's all, Yvonne. I'm leaving you. The rest is up to you. Good luck.
A few minutes later, Yvonne knocked at the door of compartment 31.
Yes? Who is it?
Let me in. This is L21. Hurry.
You fool. Why did you come here?
Close the door. I telephoned you at the embassy. They told me you had left. I was nearly arrested in the restaurant.
What happened to the plans? Were they seized by K7?
How did you know it was K7 who came to the restaurant?
Why, never mind that now. Have you got the plans with you?
Yes. They are here in my bag.
All right, then. They have followed you here.
There she is, K7.
Arrest her. She has the plans.
What is the meaning of this?
This woman is suspected of being a spy, Vlada. The fact that we found her in the act of handing these mobilization plans to you makes it necessary for us to also arrest you.
Look out! Stop him!
sorry you had to see that happen, Miss Yvonne. Open his briefcase, Em.
Yes, just as you suspected, K7. Here's another copy of the mobilization plans, and here are the coast defense plans and blueprints of the new bombing planes. This briefcase is full of secret documents.
But Vlada will never deliver them, Em. His career as a spy is over. Vlada was clever, but his last plot ended his career instead of that of the man he plotted against. This affair was hushed up to prevent embarrassment to the nation he served. Listen for my next story. This is K7 speaking.
Subscribe for more videos.
The Raleigh Cigarette Program, starring Red Skelton with Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, and Wonderful Smith. Smokers, before you buy your next pack of cigarettes, here is one important tobacco fact you should know. A fact that speaks volumes about cigarette quality. Without exception, tobacco experts select the more golden leaf when buying for quality. That is an actual trade-accepted fact. The inside story that proves conclusively that Raleigh cigarettes are definitely superior. Compare the open ends of a pack of Raleighs with any other brand. You'll see instantly the tobacco in Raleighs is more golden in color. The infallible test of choicer, more expensive tobaccos. And Raleighs are skillfully blended from 31 of these finer tobaccos to give you the smooth, rich, incomparably mild flavor of Raleigh cigarettes. Raleigh's give you valuable coupons, too, redeemable for luxury premiums, including United States war stamps. Let your eyes be your guide in buying cigarettes. You'll see that it pays in many ways to smoke Raleigh's. Raleigh cigarettes. Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra playing How About You? And now we bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's newest young comedian, the star of our show, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you tonight, Truman?
Oh, fine, Red. Say, where have you been?
Say, I've been over to the market doing a little shopping. Boy, are those food prices high. They don't sell butter by the pound anymore. It's a blob or a dab.
Oh, Red, I thought they were going to put a ceiling on food.
Well, they did put a ceiling on food, but they should have put a ceiling on the ceiling.
I was on the ceiling once.
You were, Ozzie?
Yeah, I got drunk and followed a fly. Well, you know, they're vicious looking when you get up close.
Say, Red, why don't you raise vegetables?
Well, I am, Truman. I just planted a victory garden. Put it right out in the middle of my yard.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's swell, Red. But you know, I hate to see all the grass plowed up, though.
What grass? At my house, you don't see any lawn. Just gopher fur waving in the breeze.
Say, have you really got a lot of gophers, Red?
Have I? I started digging, see, and one gopher came out and watched me for a while, and then he ran back down inside yelling, "Come on, fellows, this time he means it."
Hiya, Red.
Hiya, Harriet. Say, I was just telling Truman about my victory garden.
Oh, yes, I planted one, too.
Yeah, I guess you won't starve, huh?
Nope, not unless I lose my can opener.
Yeah.
Say, Harriet, do you like working in this hot California sun?
Oh, I don't mind it, Truman, except it makes my eyes squint.
Yeah, me too. My eyes squint so much that a neighbor walked over yesterday and said, "Pardon me, have you got time to mow my lawn before you go back to Santa Anita?"
Well, you know, it's easy to grow things out here in California where the soil is so rich.
Yeah, boy, what rich soil. I planted a whisk broom yesterday, and guess what came up?
More whisk brooms?
No, 6 Pullman porters.
You know, talking about rich soil, in Florida, I know a guy whose oranges are so large he has to bring them into the house on a float.
Florida, huh? That's nothing. 2 days ago, I stuck a scarecrow in the ground. Now he looks better than I do.
Well, you know, speaking of gardens, I heard that music helps to make things grow.
Music helps things grow?
That's right.
Oh, that's why my neighbor planted my jute box. Oh, say, by the way, I saw your picture, Jukebox Jenny, Harriet, and it was very good, too. In fact, I think I'll go see it again. If it's on the bill with my picture, ship ahoy.
Are you having trouble with your garden, Red?
Yeah, I'm having trouble with the neighbor's children. Everything I plant comes up squash.
I was a squash grower once.
Huh?
I was a squash grower once.
You were, Ozzie?
Yeah, until an Army tank corps came along.
What happened?
They squished my squash.
You know, you should stick with your garden, Red. Maybe you'll make something out of
Yeah,
it.
you know, I'd like to raise some orange trees. They tell me that all you have to do is put a pit in the ground, and up comes orange trees.
Well, I tried that, Red. I put a pit in the ground, but it died.
Yeah, looks like your pit's going to pot.
Well, Red, you know, my garden was almost washed away with all the rain.
Yeah, I was smart, though. I dug some irrigation ditches so the rain wouldn't wash my garden away.
Worked, huh?
Yeah, washed my house away instead.
Well, anyway, Red, to have a successful garden, you have to do a lot of digging.
Yeah.
It's that way all over the world.
Yeah, I know. The Japs in Tokyo are doing a lot of digging.
They are? What are they planting?
Each other.
Sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Don't go walking down Lover's Lane with anyone else but me. Till I come marching home. So you know the third verse of Anchors Away. That's interesting indeed. But I really got burning when I heard you were learning Fight On for Old Lockheed. Oh, don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me till I come marching home.
I won't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but you. Anyone else but you. Anyone else but you. No, no, no. I won't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but you till you come marching home. My goodness me, you seem to be the most jealous man I've seen. 'Cause I've had one or two dates with some sailor boys and a rather cute Marine. I won't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but you. Honest, I won't, honey, 'cause there's 2 feet of snow under it, and it's as cold as all get out.
That was Harriet Hilliard giving some good advice about sitting under the apple tree, and very good, too, Harriet.
Pardon me, Red. Would I seem too hammy if I should say as follows, I, too, sang part of the vocal chorus?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Ozzie Nelson, too.
Say, Red, I see that Mr. Raleigh is still in town.
Yeah, he's still living out at my house, too.
No kidding.
Yeah, he says he's going to get something for his money. You should see those Great Dane dogs he's got with him, though.
Oh, so that's why your car sits out all night. The dogs are sleeping in the garage.
Are you kidding? The dogs are in my room. I'm in the garage. Hey, maybe as soon as we start selling more Raleigh cigarettes, you'll go back to Louisville, huh? But I'd like to have one of those big dogs, though.
You like dogs?
Yeah, I think everybody likes animals of some kind. What do you say? Tonight, let's show different types of people and their loves for animals. First, out west, the favorite animal is the horse. And riding to the village blacksmith stand, we find Deadeye. Whoa! I said whoa, not collapse.
Hi, Mr. Deadeye. Say, don't you know the sheriff is looking for you?
Yeah, every state in the union's trying to get their hands on me, except in Texas.
What about Texas?
They're too busy clapping. Well, wonderful. You sure got a nice blacksmith shop here. How's business?
It's picking up. This morning, 2 horses passed by and looked in.
Isn't it kind of dangerous shoeing shoes on horses?
Yes, sir. Yesterday, I got kicked by a mule.
No kidding. Did it kick you hard?
Do you see that hole in the roof?
Yeah.
That ain't for ventilation. Yeah, I went sailing through the air so graceful that 2 pilots from the flying patrol asked me for my autograph. Say, that's a mighty fine horse you got there, Mr.
Yeah.
Deadeye.
You want to buy him?
No, you gypped me on the last horse I bought from you.
No kidding.
Yeah, that horse was so knock-kneed, before he could take a step, his right knee called out signals.
Well, this horse ain't knock-kneed.
No, but how come his neck is so long?
I don't know. Hey, maybe it's because his head's so far from his body.
Whoa!
Well, Calamity.
Hello, Deadeye.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you, Calamity. Maybe it's because gentlemen prefer blondes.
I ain't no blonde.
I ain't no gentleman. Give me a kiss, Calamity.
Oh, all right.
Boy, you kiss me like that once more, and I'm yours for life.
Thanks for the warning, Deadeye. Yeah. Say, Deadeye, you've got to help me and the citizens of this town.
Yeah?
That Mr. Kurtzy is a rat. He's stealing all the money from our bank.
Yeah, very much money?
I ain't seen so much green stuff since I took off that engagement ring you gave me.
Yeah. Well, I'll hop on my old trusty horse and speed over there.
Careful, Deadeye. He's tough.
Yeah, so am I. Just feel the muscle in that arm. Go ahead, feel it. Oh, doggone it. I said feel it, not squeeze it.
Well, I guess I better get going.
Here's your horse, boss.
Well, put him down! Well, come on, giddy up there. Whoa. Well, here's the bank. Just a stone's throw from the script, wasn't it? Hey, I guess I'll go in, and so nobody will recognize me, I'll pull my head down over my eyes.
Hi there, and what can I do for you?
I want to get some money to pay off a loan at the Happy Credit Company.
Happy Credit Company?
Yeah, 2 boys run it. Joe Happy and his brother Not So. All I got for collateral is this gun.
Well, that's not necessary. I'll give you $2 on your face alone.
Well, now, that's mighty nice of you, but how am I going to look without my face?
Better, I imagine.
Yeah. Come on, hand over that little black bag. I'm Deadeye, and this is a hold-up.
Now, wait, Deadeye. I should have some of that money.
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's open up the valise and we'll both grab, huh?
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, sure is. Now, you hold the valise.
All right, you tin horn. Stick 'em up. I got my 45 pointed right at your head.
That's a 45? Don't look a day over 39. Now, look, let's do this according to the law of the West. I'll count 3, and then we'll both draw.
Okay.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. I must be getting faster on the draw. Don't feel sorry for him, folks. 5 pounds of sugar just fell from under his coat. Then we have Clem, the fellow from Vincennes. He really has a lot of animals, and today he's looking for a lost pig. And he's on his way to Daisy June's house so that she'll help him find it. Well, here I am. Oh, big, 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 big. Boy, I sure know all the words of that song, don't I? Well, there's Daisy June's house. I'll knock on the door.
Hello, Clem.
Well, Daisy.
How are you, Clem?
Oh, I'm fine. What's cooking?
Plenty. My old man's making tires.
You sure look pretty today, Daisy June. What you got on your face?
Powder.
Winchester, too.
Say, what you limping for, Clem?
Well, I'm saving shoe leather, so I walked over here in my bare feet.
You did?
Yep.
Gosh, look at all the things you picked up between your toes.
Yo, see anything there you like?
Oh, you're so good to me, Clem. If you'd only take me someplace once in a while.
Well, I took you someplace last night. It was very romantic, too.
Yeah, very romantic. There we were, all alone, just us 5.
5?
Yes, you and me and them 3 soldiers that was guarding the bridge. What you doing over here, Clem?
Well, I lost my blue ribbon pig, and I was wondering if you'd help me look for her.
Uh-oh. You want me to help, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the pig must be in the swamp.
Must be. I've looked every place else. I've got my canoe ready. Will you go with me?
I don't want to go in that swamp. I'm scared.
Oh, there's nothing to be scared about. If you see anything, I'll be right behind you.
You'll be right behind me?
Yep, going the other way. Hey, look, if you go with me when I sell the pig at the market, I'll give you half the money.
Well, okay, let's go.
Okay.
Say, Clem, when you sell a pig, what you going to do with your money?
Well, for one thing, I'm going to get a haircut.
Clem, after all these years, you're finally going to have a haircut?
Yep. Kind of like to see what's under there myself. Well, here's the canoe, Daisy June, and here's the paddle. Now, don't paddle too fast, because I don't want to worry about you.
Oh, Clem, look at all them smudge pots over there.
Yep, but you're the only girl for me, Daisy June.
Careful, Clem, there's an alligator. alligator.
An alligator? Oh, boy, that's just an old log. I'll poke it and show you. Oh, well, half a canoe's better than none at all.
Gee, this swamp is dark and dreary, ain't it?
Yep, it's a real swamp. Chloe! Chloe! Probably working over at Lockheed. Joyce, I hope I find my pig, because I was raising her scientifically.
What do you mean?
Well, one day I would feed her, and the next day I would let her starve.
Well, why did you do that?
Well, I figure when they turn her into bacon, one strip would be lean and the next strip would be fat. And we can serve it with that egg. Hey, listen, I hear her. I hear her. I know that grunt anywhere.
There she is.
Yep. Well, hey, who do all those little pigs belong to?
Well, them's your little babies, Clem.
Well, how did they get there?
The stork brung 'em.
15 of them? Well, how did he carry them, in a bomb rack? Thank you. Say, Truman, did you know that our sponsor, Mr. Raleigh, and I are related?
Oh, so that's how you got the job.
Yeah. No, but seriously, we both got the same uncle, Uncle Sam.
Well, Red, count me in on that family, too.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of nice letters from our Uncle Sam, thanking us for the thousands of dollars worth of war stamps that were redeemed through Raleigh coupons.
Well, say, that's mighty nice, Red. But in reality, that official commendation belongs to the loyal Raleigh cigarette smokers, who are cooperating with the national effort by redeeming their valuable Raleigh coupons for those vital war stamps. Yes, now your Raleigh coupons are more valuable than ever, because each time you trade them for war stamps, you're helping to secure freedom, America's most priceless premium.
Well, don't you have something nice to say to the folks who haven't smoked Raleigh, Truman?
I certainly do, Red. Those of you who have not yet tried Raleigh cigarettes have a special smoking surprise in store for you. You'll enjoy Raleigh's smoothness, mildness, the golden goodness of their superior tobaccos. And you'll enjoy saving those valuable Raleigh coupons, redeemable for luxury premiums, including United States war stamps. Yes, now more than ever before, it pays in many ways to smoke Raleighs. The pack with a coupon on the back, Raleigh cigarettes.
Getting back to people and their love for animals, we have a lady and her little boy. Junior is always finding stray animals, so let's see what he finds on his way home from the store. Now, Harriet, you be my mother, and I'll be the mean little kid. Boy, I better hurry up home and eat Gucci. My mama will be waiting. Oh, gee, that cute little dog. He's still following me. Yeah, I wish he'd stop following me, though. Here, doggy, have another Frankfurter. Come on, have another Frankfurter. Listen, I told you before, I ain't got no mustard. Now, come on, little doggy. Come on. Now, this is where I live. I will take you inside and surprise my mummy. Come on, now. I'll hide you under my coat. Come on.
Is that you, Junior?
Oh! Yeah, it's me, man.
Oh! Well, what happened to your voice?
Oh! Too much vitamin B1.
Did you get all the groceries I wanted?
Yeah, here's 2 packs of potatoes, a pound of butter, and a dozen of eggs. Scrambled, of course. And here's that carton of Raleigh cigarettes.
Junior, is that a dog?
Well, what do you know? So it is. How you suppose he got under me coat? Probably went with a suit, huh? No, I will take him up and put him in my room, and we will take him back to the store the first thing in the morning.
Where are the frankfurters I sent you for?
Now, let's not get nosy, man.
I wanted them for dinner. I had my heart set on some hot dogs.
Well, cook him. Can I keep him, Mummy?
Well, I don't know if you can keep him or not.
Aw.
He's certainly the silliest-looking dog I ever saw.
Not so loud, Mummy.
Well, what's the matter? He is a silly-looking dog.
I know, but he thinks he looks like Victor Mature.
Well, I don't know whether your father will let you keep the dog.
Well, he's a handy little fellow. I've been nice. Been good boy. Did you notice how clean my face is?
Yes, your face is clean. How come?
He's a handy little fellow, ain't he?
I've never seen such a black dog.
Yeah, he is black.
He's coal black.
Yeah, he is coal black.
He's black all over.
Yeah, he's sure is black all over.
What should we call him?
Brownie. He's smart, too. Every time I throw a stick, you know what he does?
He runs and fetches it back.
Nope, he just sat there and looked at me like a dope.
But I think you'd better take him outside and let him run
No,
home.
I want to keep him.
No, Junior.
You let me keep him or I will tell.
You'll tell what?
I will tell everybody you always turn around when you hear, "Hey, Mabel." Get away. Don't you hit me. Don't you hit me.
Don't you use that tone of voice with me.
Oh, you hit me. You hit me. You broke my widow teeth. You broke my widow.
Open your mouth and let's see if any of your teeth are loose.
Okay. Boy, I look like a real moron now, don't I?
Junior, don't you know it's unhealthy to carry money in your mouth?
Now she told me.
All right, Junior, get that dog out of here before your father comes home.
Okay, I can't keep him. It's all right, Mummy. It's all right. You breaking me with a heart. You go your way, I go mine.
Oh, dear, here comes your father.
Sober today.
Hello, dear. Hello, Junior.
A dog. Here. Get away from me. Come here, doggy. Don't do that. Don't do that. He's a head man. Don't do that. He's a handy little fellow, ain't he, man? Can I keep him now?
No, you can't. Go in the other room. I'll put this dog out.
Okay.
What have you got for dinner?
Well, I'll have to send Junior after some more frankfurters. Junior? Junior?
Here I is, Mummy. And me little precious coming in short pants.
It is?
Yeah,
It is?
You better look out because I just planted a firecracker in the goldfish bowl.
Junior!
That'll teach them to make faces at me.
Oh, never mind. Here, Junior, get some more frankfurters.
Okay, I will go. I adore. Hello, mister. Is you the butcher?
Well, yes, I am, son. What can I do for you?
Well, here's $1. I want a dozen of hot dogs, and be sure they are all A1.
Oh, going to eat them for supper, huh?
No, we're going to hit each other over the head with them. What do you think we're going to do with them?
Okay. All right, here you are. Now, hold the bag up so they won't drag.
Okay.
And here's your change.
Okay.
Now, be sure and give your mother all the change.
Yeah.
You wouldn't spend a single penny of it for candy, would you?
Where did they get dopes like that? Well, goodbye, mister.
Goodbye.
Oh, gee, look at that little pony all by himself. I wonder if I could take him home with me. I could hide him in my room. If I do, I get a whipping. I won't do it. He's too big.
All sorts of things can happen when you're smiling, and you pipe smokers will smile if you listen to Del King.
Pipe smokers, the first time you smoke Sir Walter Raleigh, you'll say, why haven't people told me these things? Well, just listen. Sir Walter Raleigh is a leading favorite among all pipe smokers. And it has a rich nut-like flavor, a distinctive smoothness and mellowness that only Sir Walter Raleigh offers. Sir Walter Raleigh is an extra choice blend of superior burleys, cured and aged to perfection. And its aroma is a pleasing fragrance that's welcome every place. So, men, try Sir Walter Raleigh tonight.
Remember, we'll all be back again next week at the same time. Red Skelton, Ozzie Nelson and his orchestra, Harriet Hilliard, Wonderful Smith, and your announcer, Truman Bradley. Until next week, then.
Before saying goodbye now, I want to say something to the folks back in Indiana. Don't forget that April the 23rd is the beginning of the pledge card campaign for war bonds. Goodbye now. Thanks for listening.
Red Skelton is on this program by arrangement with Metro Goldwyn Mayer Studios. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Are you ready to unlock the full potential of your data management? Look no further. Introducing G3PL.com, your ultimate destination for mastering Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access is a powerful tool that lets you organize, analyze, and report on your data with ease. And with G3PL.com, learning how to harness its capabilities has never been more accessible.
At G3PL.com, we believe that knowledge is the key to success. Our expert instructors will guide you step by step. Whether you're a beginner or looking to enhance your skills, you'll learn how to create databases, design user-friendly forms, and generate insightful reports, all using Microsoft Access.
Call us now at 615-420-2040 to enroll in our Microsoft Access courses. Don't miss out on this opportunity to become a Microsoft Access guru. Visit G3PL.com to start your learning journey today. G3PL.com, empowering you with the knowledge you need to succeed in the digital age. Email db@g3pl.net now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is door. D-O-O-R.
Really?
You bet your life. The DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
It's a fine name for a grown man. Oh, that's me, Groucho Marx. Well, last week we dropped $3,500, so tonight we start fresh with $1,000 for one of our couples. George Fenneman, who gets first whack at it?
Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected a bachelor and a spinster. And here they are, Mr. Maurice Hohenstein and Miss Irene Tom. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers. And if one of you says the secret word at any time, he wins $100 in cash. The common word, something you see every day. Bachelor and a spinster, eh? Miss Tom? How do you Tom?
Tom.
The H is silent, eh?
That's right.
Like in herring. What kind of work do you do, Miss Tom?
I handle the retirement records and special pension files for General Petroleum Corporation.
And Mr. Havenstein?
That's right.
Is that right?
The name is Howenstein. H-A-U.
Howenstein, huh? Isn't there a cow that has that kind of a name?
Close to it.
What kind of work do you do, Mr. Howenstein?
Well, I am office manager for the Owens, Illinois Glass Company.
Mm-hmm. Why aren't you married, Mr. Howenstein?
Well, I think I'm pretty old now.
I don't know. Look at Barkley. Look at Mayor O'Dwyer. Huh? Look at Hedy Lamarr. I tell you, you look at O'Dwyer and I'll look at Hedy Lamarr. How old are you, Maurice?
44 now.
Well, that's a wonderful age for marriage, isn't it, Irene?
Oh, I think it is.
Just about right, huh? Just right, too, I'd say now. Maurice, how tall are you?
About 5'8".
And how tall is your ideal man, Irene?
Oh, about 5'7" or 5'8".
I'll bet if Maurice was a midget, your ideal man would be about 3'6". Has dodging women ever led you into any peculiar experience, Maurice?
Well, only one that I can think of.
Well, that's the one we want. Well, let's have this yarn, Maurice.
I don't know how fitting it is, but here in Los Angeles, I took a young lady up to the apartment of a boyfriend of mine, and no one was home.
Well, so far you're okay, huh?
I couldn't get in, but I knew how to get in because he'd always lose his key, so we would push the garbage can aside and enter.
You had the garbage can in the living room?
When you were out in the hall, you could enter through the garbage entrance to get in to unlock the front door.
Well, that's the wealthiest garbage you'll ever encounter. You just said door, and that's our secret word tonight, so you just won $100 in cash. Compliments of the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. You remember what we were talking about when the bell rang?
After I'd gotten inside, I had to go around to unlock the front door. I didn't know that the boyfriend had moved out about 3 weeks before.
Well, whose garbage was it?
When I got inside, there was a man and his wife in bed. I was pretty dumbfounded, and then I suddenly noticed he was getting out of bed in no uncertain terms. And of course, the front...
What do you mean in no uncertain terms?
I could see blood in his eye or something. He was after me. The front door was right handy there, but I didn't go out the front door. I went back out this garbage hole.
Well, that's certainly a very romantic interlude in your life. Now, as a confirmed bachelor, Maurice, who cooks your meals and rinses the gravy out of your neckties?
Almost anyone that's around.
Irene, are you a pretty good cook?
Well, I think I am.
What kind of a dish do you like to whip up? Anything in particular?
Well, I like fried chicken, but then, of course, I do have a recipe that I'm rather proud of that I like to serve to my friends called Rinkum Ditty.
Rinkum Ditty, did you say? Maurice, do you like Rinkum Ditty? You've never heard of Rinkum Ditty? Maurice, you've certainly led a sheltered and cloistered life. Irene, you're not trying to poison Maurice. What is Rinkum Ditty?
Well, it's really a Welsh rarebit.
Maurice, you obviously need a good woman to look after you. If Irene proposed to you right now, what would your answer be? Would it be no?
Yes.
Well, you've changed your mind, eh, Irene? Here he is, struggling but still alive, huh? Well, congratulations to you two. I know you'll be very happy. And remember, Maurice, the secret word tonight is rinkum-ditty. Well, I must say you make a charming and attractive couple, and apparently you have a great deal in common. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to work together for a chance at $1,000. You bet your life.
The DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America have certain standards which they do their utmost to live up to. You might call this set of standards their creed. It means a lot to them and to you as a car owner. This creed states that every DeSoto Plymouth dealer wants to and intends to treat you fairly and squarely, whether you come in for a new car, a used car, or just a simple repair job. It's the honest desire of everyone in the office and in the shop at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers to serve you to the best of his or her ability. Isn't this the kind of attention you want? Well then, wherever you drive, visit the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Now let's see if an ex-bachelor and an ex-spinster will be the ones who get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question. Fenneman, bring them up to date on the rules.
Each of our three couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $1,000 question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know what's going on out here.
Here we go. Let's see how high you can build you $20. You selected cities and states as your category. Is that right? All of these cities are over 50,000 in population. Now, here's your first question. You have $20. How much are you going to try?
$10.
$10? Okay. Now, in what state is the city of Providence?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is right.
And they're on their way with $30, Groucho.
All right. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the 30 are you going to try?
10 more.
In what state is the city of Jacksonville?
Florida.
Florida is right.
They're climbing. They have $40 now.
So here's your third question. How much of the 40 will you bet?
$20.
In what state is the city of Patterson? New Jersey is correct.
They're really on their way. They have $60.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 60 will you bet?
$30.
$30. In what state is the city of Sioux City?
Iowa.
Iowa is right.
And they wind up with $90.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Stick around now. You may get a chance at the big question.
Groucho, the secret word is still door.
I know that, George.
Well, perhaps the next couple will say it, too. We have a butler, Groucho, and a housewife selected from the studio audience just before we went on the air. And here they are, Mrs. Irene Colt and Mr. Urbano Galandanis. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, folks, to You Bet Your Life. And if one of you says the secret word, he wins $100 in cash instantly. It's a common word, something you see every day. A housewife and a butler, huh? Mrs. Butler, you're the housewife?
No, I'm Mrs. Gold.
What sort of work do you do?
I'm just a homemaker.
You do
Housewife.
nothing.
Nothing. What do you mean, nothing?
And Mr. Galandinas, is that right?
That's right, sir.
You must be the butler, huh? Where are you from?
From the Philippines, sir.
Philippines, huh? Well, what do you do as a butler? Just what do you do?
See that the house runs smoothly.
House runs smoothly? You work in a trailer? What was the best job you had as a butler, Mr. Galandinas?
I work for a millionaire.
Oh, a millionaire, huh? What was their name?
Oh, I would rather not say. That would embarrass him.
Well, could you give me their phone number? Huh? No, they might be looking for a gardener. I know I'm looking for a gardener. He stole my last bag of fertilizer.
Long distance, sir.
Tell me about their house. How many rooms?
Oh, there are 17 rooms in the house.
70 rooms? 17 rooms, huh? And how many servants?
14 servants.
14 servants, huh? What were their jobs?
Butler, second butler, chambermaid, upstairs maid, downstairs maid, cook, chef cook, second cook.
What does the second cook do? Just succotash?
He cooks all the food.
Now, Mr. Galandinas, in your job with a big household, what's the first thing you do in the morning?
Get up from bed, sir.
No, let's say you're up now. I mean, what's the way?
Well,
What's the first thing you do? Huh?
First thing to do is to see that the breakfast is served. The maids carry the trays to the ladies, and I, the butler, carry the food to the gentlemen, to the boss.
You got the wrong job, haven't you? Can't you ever switch with the maids? Huh?
Never, sir.
Now, Irene, can you have breakfast in bed if you want it?
I could if I went out and cooked it and took it back to bed.
You wouldn't have to do that, Irene. At night, all you got to do is fill your hot water bag with coffee. Huh? And in the morning, you could fry your eggs on the electric blanket. What else do you do on your job, Urbano? Do you help the master with his clothes?
Well, when he has no valet, sir, then I takes care of that.
Let's say this fellow's a pauper who can't afford a valet. Now, what about the lady of the house? Who helps her with her dressing?
Oh, upstairs maid, sir.
How do you know, you rascal? Do you have an upstairs maid, Irene?
Huh, I don't even have an upstairs.
I had an upstairs maid once, but she gave me a lot of trouble. She wouldn't stay upstairs. Huh? Well, Mr. Gallandinus, if taxes get any higher, my advice to you is to stop being a butler and become a tax collector. Now, you're going to work together as a team for a chance at $1,000. You run your $20 into more than our other couples, and you'll get a crack at the DeSoto Plymouth Big Question. I can't tell you how much our first couple won, but George Fenneman is off stage to remind our listeners.
The Bachelor and the Spinster won $90.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected famous women athletes as your category. All right, now you have $20. How much are you going to try?
$10.
With what sport do you associate Babe Dietrichson?
Golf.
Well, golf is right, yeah.
And they're on their way with $30.
All right, remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight. Now, how much of the $30 will you try?
20.
$20. What sport is Mildred Burke famous in? B-U-R-K-E.
Mildred Burke famous.
I'm sorry, it's wrestling. She's the world's champion wrestler.
Mildred Burke?
Mildred Burke. We had her on this program. She threw me twice in 3 minutes.
They now have $10.
Well, now you have $10, and here's your third question. How much of the 10 are you going to bet?
Shoot the works.
Shoot the works?
$5.
$5, all right. How much you gonna bet, huh? You want to compromise and make it $8?
Okay.
$8? Here's your third question. With what sport is Louise Brough associated? B-R-O-U-G-H.
Tennis.
Tennis is correct.
On the way again, I believe they have $18.
All right. Oh, what a mathematical genius that Fenneman is, huh? You've got $18. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 18 are you going to throw?
Send it on. 15.
How much? Okay. With what sport is Shirley Mae France associated?
Swimming.
Swimming is correct.
And they wind up with $33.
You wind up with $33. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now, in just a minute, our last couple will be out here, and then we'll all get the chance at the $1,000. Fenneman, who's leading?
The Bachelor and the Spinster are leading with $90. And the secret word is still door. Perhaps the next couple will say it. We invited some tourist experts to the show tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Josette Frontin from the French consulate and Mr. Al Kostler, who drives a sightseeing bus. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers, and if one of you says the secret word, he wins $100 in cash. It's a common word, something you see every day. Miss Josette Frontin, is that right? Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Not very correctly. It is Frontin.
Is Frontin?
Yes.
Oh. You're from the French consulate?
Yes, I am.
Parlez-vous français? You speak French, huh?
Yes, I speak French.
Bon appetit.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
You are welcome.
I think this girl's a phony, huh? She hasn't said one word of French. Mademoiselle Eau de Cologne. That means I'll pay for the perfume later. Let's see you knock off some French.
Oh, bien sûr que je parle français. J'arrive juste de France et c'est juste un petit peu pour vous entendre.
I knew you were French. Yeah. I know lots of French phrases. Ile-de-France, that means I'm sick of my friends. Chateaubriand, that means my hat's on fire. Where are you from, Josette?
I am from Dinah in Brittany.
You're from Dinah?
Yes.
What time did you have that, huh? I'm from Hungary. Is that anything like?
That's not
Where is Dinah?
It is in Brittany by the seaside.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, who are you, Mr. Kozla?
I'm a sightseeing bus driver.
Oh. You speak English?
Yes, sir.
What dialect do you speak, Al? I'll call you Al. Huh?
I'm from Colorado, Grand Junction.
Mm-hmm. You speak French?
No, sir.
Too bad. It would have been much easier if you spoke French. Then we could all three of us converse in the language of diplomacy. I hope you don't mind if we speak English.
Oh, I think it would be very much better.
Oui, petit foie gras. Huh? What do you work for, Mr. Kozla?
The Tanner Gray Line Motor Tours.
And what are the Tanner lines? Huh?
Well, we operate over all of Southern California, Nevada, and
who do you operate?
Arizona.
Huh?
But sightseeing buses.
You operate on sightseeing buses?
Yes.
What do you use, a hatchet or? Now, what questions do your touring passengers ask most frequently, Al? Please stop at the next filling station.
Mostly.
I want to phone my sister. What do they ask mostly, huh?
Mostly to how they can get into a movie studio and see movie stars.
What are some of the movie stars' homes that you point out, Al?
We pass Loretta Young's home, and Joanne Crawford, Eddie Cantor, Jack Benny's, and...
Don't you go past my house?
We pass within about a half a block of you.
Well, if I knew when you were coming, I could walk up and meet the bus, huh? Well, let's get back to you, Frenchie. What do you do at the French consulate? Are you an ambassador?
No, I'm not an ambassador. I work with the French commercial attaché.
Attaché? What is that? Is that when you stick somebody with a sword?
Oh, no, that is touché.
Touché.
Yes.
Is two attachés one touché? Say, I'm picking up quite a lot of the language. Well, just what? Huh?
That means attached.
Attached. Yeah. And tell me, Josette, are you attached to the attaché?
Oh, no, the attaché is attached to the French consulate.
Well, I hope they'll be very happy together. Well, are you attached to anybody, Josette?
No, I'm single.
Ooh la la! That's French, bus driver. I think you understand what I mean. Huh? Well, how is an attractive French pastry like you still in the bakery? Surely 50 million Frenchmen can't be wrong.
Well, there are not so many French men in United States.
Well, would you have to marry a Frenchman? Couldn't you marry one of the home guard? Huh?
Well, I think I could be interested in some American man, especially if he had some of the Frenchman qualities.
I see. Well, mon chéri, what do you have in mind?
Yeah, so I would like him to be kind, thoughtful, gallant, courteous, debonair, and also what you call a good sport.
Well, what I call a good sport may not be the same as what you call it. How do you feel about American husbands, Al?
I think they're kind and gentle and big-hearted, handsome and well-heeled.
Well, Al, are you that kind of a husband?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Don't you know what kind of a husband you are?
I'm not married.
Touché, Al. That's French, meaning I make the jokes around here. What do you find most interesting about the United States, Josette?
Oh, I think that is the fact that every people, Germans, Spaniards, English, French, just seems to be happy to live together and just like if they were a big family. They are all American.
Well, you're very observant, Josette. Perhaps someday the whole world will see it that way, too. As secretary for the commercial attaché, just what are your duties?
My job covers a lot of territory.
You mean your boss chases you around the office? But what do you mean, Miss Frontin?
I mean I have to answer the phones and the letters, sometimes some funny ones. And also I receive the people wishing to go for a trip over to France.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to go to France, and I'm planning on going there next summer. What kind of a trip would you suggest for me?
Well, in what are you specially interested?
The same thing any other red-blooded American. The Eiffel Tower. Well, I've learned a lot about France tonight and also about bus drivers. Now, let's see if you two will win the most money and get the chance at the $1,000 question. Beat our other two couples, and that's all you have to do. I can't tell you how much they won, but George is slinking around off stage to remind our listeners.
The Bachelor and the Spinster are still leading with $90.
Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected stars of current movies as your category. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, here's your first question. You have $20. How much will you try?
Better just take $5.
$5. Who plays Samson and Samson and Delilah? No? That's a pretty easy question, now. You should have guessed it. Well, it's Victor Mature. Now you have $15. Well, all right. Remember, you're going for $1,000 tonight, so that's the big prize. Now, how much of the 15 will you try?
Make it 10, then.
Make it 10. All right. Who is the male star of Sands of Iwo Jima?
Johnny Garr and John Wayne.
John Wayne is right.
Well, they're on their way now. They have $25.
All right, now you got $25. Here's your third question. How much of the 25 will you try?
10.
Who plays the title role in Thelma Jordan? Take a guess.
I don't know.
No.
I'm sorry. It's Barbara Stanwyck. All right, now you have $15. How much you going to bet now?
You better say 15.
You want to shoot the works?
Yeah.
Okay, 15. Who stars in The Western Montana?
Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn is correct.
And they wind up with $30. And that means the Bachelor and the Spinster get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question. This year, the one thing all of us could count on as far as weather went was that it would be unpredictable. And of course, this is all the more reason to have our cars operating in tip-top shape. Many people have discovered this year that it pays to go to an authorized DeSoto Plymouth dealer, whether it's an emergency or a routine checkup. For there you get expert, courteous service at the lowest possible cost. In fact, that's a DeSoto Plymouth dealer's everyday way of doing business. Now, they're able to accomplish this because they have highly skilled mechanics in their shop. And these experts work with special factory-designed and approved tools. From the records they keep on your car, they're able to tell you, for example, when your engine is ready for a tune-up or new lubrication. They'll tell you when your tires should be rotated to add thousands of miles to their life. For the best from your car, stop in where you get the best service at an authorized DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. And here is the Bachelor and the Spinster, the winning couple, all ready for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,000 question, Groucho.
All right, here we go for $1,000. Ready? I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on one single answer between you. So think carefully, and please, no help from the audience. Here it is. Recently, in a big shakeup of personnel, a new chief of naval operations was appointed to succeed Admiral Denfield, who is the present chief of naval operations. What is the answer you two have decided upon?
I'm afraid I don't know.
I'm sorry, it's Admiral Forrest Sherman. So that means the big question next week will be worth $1,500. Well, you lost the big money, but you won $90 in the quiz, plus $100 for saying the secret word. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you.
You Bet Your Life is a John Goodell production, transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Bob Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for the Groucho Marx Show, You'll Bet Your Life, presented by the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. Two great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation. And don't forget, next week, the big question will be worth $1,500.
Before winding up tonight's proceedings, I'd like to thank the radio editors of the United States and Canada for voting our show the best quiz program on the air in the annual poll conducted for Fame magazine. Well, it's almost time for Bing Crosby, so good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Here's a tip from the National Safety Council. The golden rule applies in driving, too. Drive as you would have the other fellow drive. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
Are you ready to unlock the full potential of your data management? Look no further. Introducing G3PL.com, your ultimate destination for mastering Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access is a powerful tool that lets you organize, analyze, and report on your data with ease. And with G3PL.com, learning how to harness its capabilities has never been more accessible.
At G3PL.com, we believe that knowledge is the key to success. Our expert instructors will guide you step by step. Whether you're a beginner or looking to enhance your skills, you'll learn how to create databases, design user-friendly forms, and generate insightful reports, all using Microsoft Access.
Call us now at 615-420-2040 to enroll in our Microsoft Access courses. Don't miss out on this opportunity to become a Microsoft Access guru. Visit G3PL.com to start your learning journey today. G3PL.com, empowering you with the knowledge you need to succeed in the digital age. Email db@g3pl.net now.
Thank you all for tuning into Golden Age Radio today. We hope you enjoyed the classic tunes and captivating stories from the past.
Absolutely. It's been a delightful journey through time, and we truly appreciate each and every one of you for joining us.
We have a fantastic lineup prepared for tomorrow's broadcast, filled with even more nostalgic melodies and thrilling dramas from the golden era of radio.
So mark your calendars and set your alarms because you won't want to miss it. Join us again tomorrow at the same time for another unforgettable session of Golden Age Radio.
Invite your friends and family to come along too. Let's make it a delightful gathering filled with timeless entertainment and warm memories.
Once again, thank you for being part of our wonderful audience today. We look forward to having you with us again tomorrow as we dive into the enchanting world of the past.
Until then, take care and have a fantastic day ahead. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Attention all business owners and aspiring database wizards. If you want to take your data management to the next level, G3PL.com is your ultimate destination for expert Microsoft Access support and training.
That's right. G3PL.com believes that every successful database journey starts with a dedicated individual guiding you to success. That's why we're proud to introduce G3PL.com, a Microsoft Access expert.
Whether you're just starting or looking to enhance your access skills, G3PL.com's personalized training will set you on the path to mastery. G3PL will be with you every step of the way, providing hands-on guidance and real-world examples.
But don't just take our word for it. Hear what a satisfied client has to say.
Thanks to G3PL.com, I've become a Microsoft Access Pro. The personalized training was exactly what I needed. I learned to create and optimize databases, run powerful queries, and automate tasks with VBA. Now, I'm confidently handling complex projects with ease.
It doesn't stop there. G3PL.com is your go-to for top-notch support and solutions.
Exactly. If you're struggling with your existing database, G3PL will troubleshoot, optimize, and fine-tune it to perfection.
G3PL.com designed a custom database that transformed our business operations. We needed a streamlined system to manage our services and customer data. Their expertise delivered a tailor-made solution that exceeded our expectations. I can't thank them enough.
G3PL.com understands that every project is unique, and we're here to offer individualized attention to your specific needs.
So, why wait? Take the leap into the world of Microsoft Access Excellence with G3PL.com.
Contact G3PL today and embark on your database journey with an Access expert.
Send an email to db@g3pl.net or call 615-420-2040 and ask for Mark to learn more and get started.